Tonight in Arkansas, there's a mother tucking in her daughter and turning off the light. A business owner is burning the midnight oil. An at-home dinner date is plating up possibility. And it's all happening under one roof. How? The power of a conversation, like the one John from Integrity Solutions had with First Horizon Bank about his vision for a sustainable mixed-use building. Now it's not just words, it's life. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/John. First Horizon Bank, member FDIC. This morning in North Carolina, wheels are spinning. Determination is winning. A passion is now a thriving business. And it shows no signs of slowing down. How? The power of a conversation. Like the one Clint Spiegel had with First Horizon Bank about starting a bike wheel manufacturing facility in Asheville. Now it's not just talk, it's rubber meets road. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Clint. First Horizon Bank, member FDIC.
Epilepsy, A Natural Approach to Coping with Epilepsy by Stacey Chillemi. My epilepsy story. Who is Stacey Chillemi? I'm an author and a health expert. I developed epilepsy at the age of 5 years old. It all started when there was a noise coming from my bedroom. My parents came in to see what was going on, and they saw my eyes rolled back, my lips turning blue, and I was chattering. Previously, I was suffering from an ear infection and a virus. They had rushed me to the hospital, and they had found that the virus had traveled to my brain, and I had encephalitis. I was in a coma for 4 days, and they thought when I came out that I would probably be paraplegic. My father sat by my bedside and hoped and prayed that I would be okay. My father, who is Greek, actually prayed to a statue in Greece by the church, and tears used to drop from the statue. After praying, he looked up, and he saw that a tear rolled down my eye. Right afterwards, I had woken up, and I had asked for McDonald's French fries. Everyone was stunned, but I was left with epilepsy. I had suffered with epilepsy my entire life and had struggled tremendously, trying to cope with all the different obstacles that had come my way. I struggled and I fought endlessly, and I had seizures consistently throughout my life and adulthood. It got to a point where I started to study about herbs, natural healing, different supplements, and different ways of living life. And after doing many years of research with an herbalist that I had worked with, I started applying these things to my own life. Surprisingly, my seizures started to decrease. With the medication I was taking and the different changes I made in my life, my seizures went from 9 seizures a month to 6 seizures a month to 4 to 3 to 2 to none. Today, I live a very healthy life, and I do a lot of things that I didn't do years ago. I'd like to share with you today about epilepsy for people who are unfamiliar with the disorder, and I'd like to go over different things that I do in my own life that have helped me. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you. What is the difference between epilepsy and seizures? Epilepsy is a disorder characterized by recurrent seizures, also known as a seizure disorder. A seizure is a brief temporary disturbance in the electrical activity of the brain. Who has epilepsy? About 2.3 million Americans have epilepsy. Roughly 181,000 new cases of seizures and epilepsy occur each year. 50% of people with epilepsy develop seizures by the age of 25. However, anyone can get epilepsy anytime. Now there are as many people with epilepsy who are 60 or older as children aged 10 or younger. Groups at increased risk for epilepsy. About 1% of the general population develops epilepsy. The risk is higher in people with certain medical conditions, such as traumatic brain injury, stroke, Alzheimer's disease, autism, brain tumors, and blood vessel abnormalities. What causes epilepsy? In about 70% of people with epilepsy, the cause is not known. In the remaining 30%, the most common causes are head trauma, infection of the brain tumor and stroke, and hereditary. The brain is the source of epilepsy. All brain functionings, including feeling, seeing, thinking, and moving muscles, depend on electrical signals passed between nerve cells in the brain. A seizure occurs when too many nerve cells in the brain fire too quickly, causing an electrical storm. There are many different types of seizures. I'm not going to go over them all, but they are very simple seizures, such as a focal when you stop and stare, to a grand mal seizure when your whole brain is going in a seizure and there is abnormal electrical activity going on in the brain and the whole body is in a seizure. There are many different types, and if you have a seizure, you should go to a doctor to discuss this so you can have more information on what seizures you're taking and why they may be occurring. Symptoms that may indicate a seizure disorder: periods of blackout or confused memory, occasional fainting or spells, episodes of blank staring in children, sudden falls for no apparent reason, episodes of blinking or chewing at inappropriate times. Seizure triggers. There are many reasons why you can have a seizure, so many that it's very hard sometimes to pinpoint why you actually had the seizure. But some of the common reasons are missed medication, which is one of the #1 reasons, stress and anxiety, hormonal changes, dehydration, lack of sleep, fatigue, photosensory, drug and alcohol use, and drug interaction. First aid for seizures. Always stay calm. Track the time. Do not restrain the person, but help them to avoid hazards. Protect their head. Remove glasses. Loosen tight netwear. Move anything hard or sharp out of their way. Turn the person on one side. Position their mouth to the ground. Check for epilepsy or seizure disorder ID. Understand that the verbal instructions may not be obeyed. Stay until the person is fully aware and help them. Call an ambulance if the seizure lasts for more than 5 minutes, or if it is unknown whether the person has had prior seizures. Understand the emotional aspect of a patient. Many people with epilepsy have embarrassment. It's very hard sometimes, especially if you're taking a seizure in front of a group of people. It can be very embarrassing and very emotional to that person. Many people with epilepsy tend to carry anger. Why me? There's a lot of repressed anger going on. Anxiety. If you have seizures, sometimes not knowing when the next seizure may occur can make a person very anxious. Or if they're doing something and they know something could set it off, they could be very anxious about that also. Some people with epilepsy have possible outbursts. This can also relate to the anger that is repressed. A negative attitude. Lots of people with epilepsy aren't able to do everything they want to do. So they tend to be negative, giving up. But that shouldn't be. And depression. A lot of times, not talking about the epilepsy and talking about the things that you're going through can lead to depression. Many people with epilepsy suffer from it. Ways you could comfort the person. Look at the person and say, I may not understand what you're going through, but I'm here to support and help you. A lot of times I have spoken with people with epilepsy, and they were very upset because they say that their doctors don't understand, or this person doesn't understand what they're going through. And yes, that's true. They may not understand what you're going through, but they're here to help you and support you in any way. And take that as a comforting note and take advantage of it. Now, diet. How does diet affect epilepsy? Although there is little evidence that a balanced diet has a direct effect on seizures, from my own experience I can say that it definitely does. When I eat healthier and I stay away from processed and unhealthy foods, I see a difference in how I feel, my energy level, my focus, my concentration. A lot of things feel different. So from my own perspective, I feel that diet has a big effect on me and my epilepsy. And I can say when I'm eating healthier, I notice that my epilepsy always did better. A healthy, balanced diet. A diet high in fiber, leafy vegetables, fruits, nuts, and dairy products is always recommended. Nutrition in epilepsy. Stay away from the foods that contain a high amount of sodium. Limit your caffeine intake. Limit your sugar intake. Grapefruit juice and pomegranate juice do not trigger seizures, but they can make the side effects of some epilepsy medications more likely, including certain drugs. Avoid processed foods. Avoid preserved foods or foods ready to eat that contains chemicals which may interfere with the functioning of the brain and increase toxins of the brain. This may also make certain drugs or natural supplements ineffective. I noticed when I stood away from the processed foods and I ate more healthier, more natural foods, I noticed definitely an improvement in my epilepsy. Exercise in epilepsy. Most sports are safe for people with epilepsy. Even if you have seizures and they're fully not controlled, you still can exercise and get a good amount of exercise in your daily regimen. However, the greater and more severe a person's seizures, the greater the need for that person to limit or modify their athletic activities. Do things that are safe and things that work for you. A person only needs 15 minutes of exercise a day, and they don't need to do strenuous exercise. They could do lots of different things that are actually very good for the body. The top natural remedies for epilepsy. The ketogenic diet. This is a diet that is rich in fat content and low in carbohydrates. A low-carb diet is recommended because a carbohydrate-rich diet increases the sugar load in the system and causes hyperactivity of the brain due to the high energy available, which may cause seizures in epilepsy patients. A diet rich in fat is said to decrease the spontaneous activity of the brain and keep the neurons under control. Now, ketogenic diet has worked for a lot of people, and it's even worked a lot for young children. But we can't say that it works for everybody. This is something you should speak with your doctor, and you should try underneath the doctor's supervision. 5-HTP. This is another natural supplement used to reduce anxiety and depression. This supplement reduces the serotonin level in the brain, which improves the overall health of the brain and reduces the severity and frequency of seizures. It is widely used as a natural treatment for epilepsy. Passion flower. Passion flower contains a chemical which helps reduce anxiety and thus reduces the frequency of seizures. It has been traditionally used in the treatment for epilepsy. GABA and vitamin F. Epilepsy natural supplements also include GABA along with vitamin F. These act on the central nervous system and control the neurons that cause anxiety and seizures. Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are found to increase certain things in the brain which ensure smooth neurological functioning and strengthening of the brain. This helps the brain and CNS withstand anxiety or stress and reduces seizures. Omega-3 fatty acids are one of the top natural supplements for epilepsy. Below are the best omega-3 foods. Just to go over a few, I'm not going to go over them all, but salmon fish oil is very good, cod liver oil, walnut nuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, tuna, whitefish, sardines, hemp seeds, anchovies, egg yolks. These are all great foods that contain high contents of omega-3. Magnesium. Foods rich in magnesium like nuts, soybean seeds, and beets may also naturally treat epilepsy. Magnesium forms compounds that are responsible for effective functioning of the brain and nervous system. Vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is effective in reducing seizures. It is beneficial to the central nervous system and for the effective functioning of the brain. Stress and epilepsy. Seizures and epilepsy affect all ages. While they tend to occur for the first time in young children or older adults, each age group has unique concerns and problems. We aren't sure just why stress may trigger a seizure. While there is no definite evidence that reducing stress may help seizures, a recent study showed that nearly 9 out of 10 people who actively managed their stress believed it reduced the risk of seizures. Try to avoid stressful situations if it makes sense to do so, and if you can avoid it, definitely do so. I noticed for my own self, anytime I was stressed out, I had a seizure. When I lived life calmly and I focused on the small things and didn't sweat over the big things in life, I saw that my seizure levels were always less. So for myself, I could say stress always played a big factor in my life, and the seizures always occurred when I was under my most levels of stress. Ways to reduce stress. Use a diary and write down what's likely to cause stress for you. Then try to analyze what those things are and ways you can avoid them. Ways to reduce stress. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows. It empties today of its strength. Try to avoid a stressful situation if it makes sense to do so. And if you can avoid it, then definitely do so. Because why worry? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth the chance of having a seizure? There's lots of ways to cope with worrying. And if you know that worrying can cause a seizure, then figure out ways to calm yourself and handle situations in life without getting yourself overwhelmed. When a stressful situation is unavoidable, make sure you're doing your best to get enough sleep and take your seizure medications on time. This could help with taking less seizures. Ways to reduce stress. Find ways to diffuse a situation. Avoid people who cause anger or anxiety if you can. Try to approach them differently. It may help to calm down the stressful situation. Sometimes there's people in our lives that get us really overwhelmed. And sometimes you have to just step back and figure out ways how you could either see them less, or just when you do see them, just try to keep your emotions down and try to not let them get to you. Exercise regularly. Lots of research has shown that exercise helps lower stress. Exercise is a great tool, and you should definitely try to figure out ways to incorporate it in your life. Do your best to relax. Try exercise like yoga, tai chi, Pilates, massage, cat naps, or relaxation and controlled breathing techniques. These are great ways to actually reduce stress, and they're very healthy for your overall health. Limit long naps during the day. Sleeping during the day will cause sleep problems at night and make people feel worse. So if you're tired during the day, take a short nap, but don't sleep for long periods of time. You want to try to even out and do everything in a very planned, scheduled way so you don't overwhelm and change your body's normal schedule. Keep a diary routine. Pace yourself and take frequent breaks. Don't overwhelm yourself and try to do everything at once. This could cause a seizure, and it also stresses you out and just can drain you physically and mentally. Nobody is too busy. It's just a matter of priorities. Set priorities for what is important in your life and let the rest go. Seek help Talk to your doctor, nurse, or counselor. Let them know what's going on and what's bothering you. Sometimes we can't figure out how to make certain situations in our life better, but by speaking with somebody, sometimes people can see things from a different perspective and give you great solutions that you would never think of. Reach out. Seek counseling or some type of psychotherapy. If you think that you may have anxiety or depression, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Join a support group or online support. Reach out to the Epilepsy Foundation or an affiliate program near you. There are lots of people that are willing to listen and help you get through things in life. As I mentioned earlier, don't sweat the small stuff. The little things in life you shouldn't sweat over. It's not worth it. For every problem, there is a solution. Life's philosophies. You can't change the past. Focus on the present and work on creating a constructive, positive future. Remember, everything happens for a reason. Learn to live the moment. 3 keys to transform your life. Don't be in denial. Accept who you are and learn to love yourself. My epilepsy didn't get better until I actually accepted that I had it. I knew it wasn't going away. I had to love myself for who I was, and then I had to learn how to just move on. I wasn't going to live in a nutshell, and I wanted to do a lot of things in life. So sometimes you just have to accept who you are, and then you have to try to figure out how to set goals and do what you want in life and figure out ways to get there. Accept what you are able to do and what you are not able to do. Accept the past as the past without denying it or discarding it. Learn to forgive yourself and to forgive others. Don't assume that it's too late to get involved. Last but not least, positive thinking. The key to coping with epilepsy. Positive thinking is not about accepting about the best is about what the best is about to happen. It's about accepting that whatever happens, it's for the best. I would never have gotten through my epilepsy if it wasn't for positive thinking. Sometimes I believe everything happens for a reason. We need to learn and think about what we learned from the situation, how this has made you a better person, the different qualities it's given you. I know for myself, I would have never been as caring and as open and understanding to people with disabilities if I didn't have a disability myself. I would never have been as positive and have been the advocate I am to help others if this didn't happen to me. And I would never have had such a strong interest in health and helping others if this didn't happen to me. So I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe that epilepsy had given me a lot of obstacles in life, but it has given me a lot of positive things too. And it definitely has made me a better person. I hope the things I've shared with you today have helped you. You could reach me on my website at thecompleteherbalguide.com. And I look forward to hearing your comments and your thoughts. And thank you very much for joining me today.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 18-month terms and only a $500 minimum. And the happiest part? MSU FCU certificates yield 4.5% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/MSUFCU. That's MSUFCU. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 12/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.